Well, Happy New Year, everyone. I'm sure it's New Year almost everywhere in the world now, other than Vancouver. West Coast here. We still have another 2.5 hours left, which I'm trying to have a short conversation with you guys and then go about my walk. And perhaps I'll be spending in the new year while I'm walking the cold. Me, stars, and there are no stars, fog, and the cold. All right. So, Aftar, I completed my response to you. So we have P says, Happy New Year, sir. Well, thank you very much, P. But in order to complete and fix the misunderstanding, you might want to tell me a little bit about you as far as age, gender, where you're tuning in from, so I don't have to call you P. Change that screen name for heaven's sake. Christina is here, dear. Christina from New York, I believe, right? And says, Happy New Year, Miran. Happy New Year to you too, dear. And Jeremy, my goodness, Jeremy, where the hell have you been? Did you desert us? What happened to you? Such a positive man and good influence and addition to our group. You disappeared. You're from Portland, right? Am I right? Let's see. Yeah. Male 23, 24 in 30 days. Okay. Oregon. Okay, good. I hope you are doing well. It's been a long time. I think it's been a year since you've last shown up here. Hussein says, Happy New Year, sir. 19 male India. Thank you very much, Hussein. Happy New Year to you as well. So, Happy New Year to everyone, whether you've been here or not, you are here or not. Wish you all a wonderful, happy, and healthy new year, and hope that we will not have to deal with tyrants this coming year and will regain our freedom and freedom of movement, freedom of choice, and no goddamn passport for anything. We are free human beings, and we don't want to be controlled or pressured or do things that we don't choose and consent to do. That's the meaning of freedom, at least part of the meaning. All right. And we have Aftar says, thank you so much. You're quite welcome. So I thought I spend about, maybe an hour max with you guys, and then I'll just go on and do other things and go on my walk eventually. And thank you very much for supporting the channel for the past year, guys, by your kind words and love that you send and questions that you send. And hopefully we've been able to grow all together and bring more wisdom to our lives and make better choices and deeper pondering on matters that concerns us or matters that mean anything to our lives. And hopefully that you will continue you enjoying the channel and make sure that you will promote the channel any way, shape, or way you can legally. And David Blake says, Happy New Year, Miran. 28 male New Zealand. Kia ora. Kia ora, David. Says, I've been married. Oh, good. For almost a year. But I often find myself thinking about my ex and our past relationship. I don't care if your ex was the best chef in the world. If the food she's cooking is not for you, fuck her. Excuse my French. It's a little bit new scientific words that I'm learning. Sometimes when I'm short of a proper word to express my emotions, I have to resort to the old-fashioned ways. So in other words, who gives a shit? You are married. God damn it. Pay respect to your wife now. That's the one that is sleeping beside you every night. That's the one that gives you the taste of pleasure and hopefulness and building together and supports you and is there for you. The hell with the ex. Simple. You have no um, duties or responsibilities toward her. She made her chores, and that's the end of it. So, as long as you have your body here and your mind somewhere else now and then, you will not be able to build a good thing with your wife. If you love her and respect her, then focus on her. Bring love to her. Provide for her. Pay attention to her. Why not? She's the one who's putting up with you, accepted to marry you. Where's the other one? You keep talking like this, you're going to be meeting my ugly stick before you know it. I'll be on her side. I'll be on your wife's side. I'll beat the crap out of you, but you got to have your helmet on because I will not be lenient. So don't sabotage a good thing that you got going for you. For whatever reason, you decided and you chose her and you've asked her to marry you now. God damn it. If that's the case, I mean, you can be paying attention to lots of other girls out there. That's fine. But the ex, no. Fuck her. Let her go. At least I have another couple of hours to use these words. My resolution for the new year would be no French. These are all French words that come to mind. So, Kunak says Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too as well, dear. And David said, what can I do to move forward now with my new life and not look back at difficult as it has been? What do you mean difficult? Look, I wasn't joking when I was talking about the ugly stick. I mean, you're lucky that there are no traveling available and I'm not vaccinated, so I can't be traveling anyhow. Otherwise, this ugly stick would have come with me and I wouldn't stop by just hitting you on the head. Mm-hmm. Come on. Don't talk nonsense. You're a serious man now. You have a wife. Who gives a shit about the ex? We all had exes. But eventually, there's a difference between X and the one that is not X. And the one that is not X is the one you should pay attention to. Devaluate her. Whoever hasn't chosen you doesn't deserve your attention. That's the end of it. Let's go on. David? It's a choice you make. There's no mystery. There's no power that she has. None whatsoever. It's just about your ego, she turned me down and all this shit. Who the fuck is she that she turned you down? So what? That was your lucky day. Why would you want to be with somebody who turns you down? Now you found somebody who loves you, wants to be with you, and is committed to you, accepted to marry you. So stop that nonsense. I don't want to hear it anymore. And you make a choice. Attend to the one that you chose. That was your choice. And don't worry about the other one. If she comes to your mind, she comes to your mind. There's no need to desire her at all. She's not worth it. Why? Because she's not with you. She had her chance. She didn't choose it. And that's the end of it. You don't want to be with someone who doesn't choose you. So this is the one that you got to be dedicating your life to because she chose you. Yeah? All right. Then. Don't piss me off now. MD Samir Khan. What nonsense are you talking about, Samir? What are you talking about? Where did you guys lose your balls and always constantly waiting to be defined by other people's thoughts or opinions about you? I feel less manly. My friends bully me as I have less beard than them. Well, maybe they're gorillas. Why do you have to have more hair? Who wants to have more hair? So if that's the case, all the most of the Europeans who are not that hairy as the Middle Easterns, they're not men. Vikings, they were not men. They were fucking half of the world. There are wars and everything else. So what does it have to do with hair? Stop that nonsense. So you're 18 years old and you're just bamboozled by some adolescents and some people who are not confident enough and trying to put you down in order to feel better about themselves. Otherwise, if somebody is really manly and strong and feel good about himself, doesn't put anybody else down. If the fact that they're bullying you, that means they're not really confident. They don't feel they're man enough until they can make fun of somebody, and through that, maybe they feel something about themselves. Otherwise, naturally, obviously, they don't have it. So, all right. Mona says, hello, Mona June. And Antonio Angias Ortega says, what if he has regrets? Antonio, I need age, gender, where you're tuning in from. And I can't tell right now. There's two names here, Antonio and Giaz Ortega. I don't know if it's a man, woman, what gender, what age, how many people are we talking with? And so could you help me out with that? I keep forgetting. I gotta fix my. I just noticed looking at myself into the into the screen. I had a short gold necklace, and a while ago I tried to remove my shirt, and tore it apart. And I put it here to fix it. I forgot all about it. Now I just remembered. So let's make a note out of it. Fix my necklace. Lazy boy. It's been on my neck for God knows how many years. David says, thanks for advice, Miran. Please don't use that stick because it will really hurt. Ah, yeah, I bet it will. More than that. David says, yeah, okay, David, good. Sort it out, David. There are so many girls. We are men. We are visuals. All we need is just to look at someone pretty and say, oh, as if she's better than the one you got. No. All ornamental. Stick with the one you got. All right. So, what else is new? Well, in BC, we are supposedly not to have any parties or get-togethers. What else is new? Antonio says, my wife and I question his nostalgia. Whose nostalgia? Who are we talking about? Your wife and you question his nostalgia moments of thinking of his ex. Whose nostalgia's moments? Whose ex? What's the relationship between the person who's thinking about his ex and you and your wife? I don't get it. I'm confused. This is why people struggle with those thoughts. Is it a brain issue? I don't know who you're talking about. Is it related to one of the questions that we answered here, or is it a new question, or what's the relationship between you and someone who you're talking about? I don't get it, Antonio. Antonio and Giaz Ortega say the man who is merry and thinking about the ex, nostalgia, sentimental longing, or wishful affection for. I know what nostalgia means. I'm just saying. So you're making a comment about David's comment here, huh? Mhm. So I see. So it's not about you. That's why it was confusing. That you said his, I said who, then you said you and your wife. I said, well, doesn't make sense. So obviously you're making a comment on the comment of someone else that I already responded to. It's not necessarily a brain issue. It's an ego issue, not understanding the psyche and the reaction to the effects that events put on the psyche and why it's putting that effect. It's got nothing to do with any realities. It's got to do with the image you have of yourself and how this image was rather attacked by the lack of appreciation of your attention to something and not being able to fulfill something that you thought is important to you. But obviously, it is proven that it wasn't important because you found somebody else eventually. So it's always going to be somebody else. But at the moment, we give so much importance to some kind of a experience because we think that is the best experience I could ever have. Just because you're in the midst of a certain kind of experience which is pleasurable and you don't have enough confidence about yourself and you think your confidence comes from being in a relationship with somebody else that is able to facilitate pleasure, and pleasure is what everybody is after one way or another, and you try to create your success through the eyes of the fulfilling desire. So that's why pleasure is so sought after. Everybody thinks the more pleasure I have, the more successful I am. And so when somebody breaks up with you, you think that you're not successful. You failed. It's not true at all. It's got nothing to do with any of that. The more confidence you become in yourself, understand where your worth and value actually stems from, then the less you'll be affected by the breakups. But every man despises breakups because every man thinks I'm the best and the best of the best in the world and doesn't consider any other man even measuring up to him. So when some woman kind of behaves the way they do, break up, for whatever reason, instead of looking at it that, okay, she's not qualified, that's why she broke up with me, they think that they're not qualified. And being qualified for that certain kind of a woman is some feather in their cap. It's not true. So the more you understand that these are just the play of the ego and the image and so on, the less it becomes important to you. You'll just move on to the next. Matthew says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Thank you very much. David says, when my wife and I are at odds, such as when we argue or not agreement about something, these times makes me refer back to memories of the past. But if you refer back to the memories of the past, you would be more fond of your wife because this one is with you That one broke up and didn't want to be committed to you, which means is not qualified at all. So that's even worse. You're seeking refuge to a problem. That was a problem relationship. That's why it broke down. That's why it didn't work out. It wasn't anything pleasant at it, but you're not focusing on the end result. You're focusing on some occasions in that relationship when you guys were having fun. That's not a fair comparison. You're trying to build something here, and argument and disagreements are part of life. Conditioning of each consciousness is different, content of each consciousness is different, and because of those conditionings are different, even if you're coming from the same city, the conditioning of the consciousness is different. Therefore, there is bound to be conflicts and division. That's a normal part of life. If you think that because we have arguments that we are not compatible, well, that's not the whole story. You can be having arguments, disagreements, but you can compromise, learn from each other, and come up to what is something that both should or should not follow, or leave each other to its own beliefs or a level of understanding, and not be fussing about things that are not detrimental to the roots of the relationship that you're building. So, you're trying to build something with your wife, and if you're having arguments, you can't seek refuge in some relationship that didn't work at all and broke up. What's there to be proud of it? Hmm? This is something you should be working on. You're just taking a selective memories of the old relationship, and every relationship had one or two or three or four few good things happening there. But seeking refuge to those good experiences is not a real representation of that relationship that you find it, you know, to be fond of, versus this one that you may have some kind of an argument or disagreement momentarily. All right, we'll be here another maximum half an hour. David says, thanks, Mira. That makes lots of sense. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Platon Leontev. Again, one of these, I don't know what it means. VUN dot RENT. What does that mean, guys? Once in a while I see some comments or some things like that when someone joins our live stream. I don't know what it means. I never knew. I don't know why I'm yawning a lot. All right. Looks like we don't have much questions. And there's only 3 people watching. So if there are no questions, might as well I can cut it short and go on my walk a bit early. How about that? We just have 2 people now. Well, it's New Year. Everybody is busy and having their time. So perhaps we'll just give it a few minutes. And if there's no question, I'll just cut it short tonight and let you guys have your celebrations, however you celebrating it. And then we'll talk some of the time. David says, Maron, what books would you recommend to read for self-help issues such as mine? It doesn't need a book. That's not an issue. It's a choice you're making to pay attention to something for some egoistic reasons. Instead of respecting yourself, and regardless of who has been reciprocating to your affection and attention or who hasn't, what you wanted, and if you got reciprocation or not, that shouldn't be the reason for you to long for it just because, oh, I send my salutations or affection or attention and I didn't get back, so now I'm always going to be chasing that. Don't give people that kind of echelon of importance or power based on your own shortcomings of your egoistic feelings that I need to feel important to be paid attention. It's kind of like that episode of Seinfeld that George falls in love with this woman who wasn't paying attention to him. And that the woman didn't like him. And George says, no, everybody must like me. And because this woman hates me so much, I love her. Don't be like that. The woman who doesn't pay attention to you doesn't deserve your attention. That's the end of it. You want to run after the one who broke up with you to thinking that, oh, this is the one I want because she didn't, continue a relationship with me. That's a shortcoming from you. It's weakness in the mind. Otherwise, why would anybody wants to be with someone who doesn't want it? It's just what? What is she going to do for you? What is she available? What is she capable of doing? Somebody could be really physically hot. Okay, so big deal. A few times you're together, intimate, I don't know, a year. And after that, what's left? 6 months. What's left? If she doesn't have that compatibility on the consciousness level, if she doesn't attend to her duties as a good partner that want to build something together, if she doesn't attend to her duties as a woman of the relationship, and you don't attend to your duties as a man in the relationship, and you guys don't have compatibility, you guys don't take care of the economics together, or you don't care about your careers, or you don't care about other duties that each one of you has as your role of a woman or a man, requires in a relationship, then who cares how hot the girl is or how handsome the guy is? If they're not hitting it off on the consciousness level, then obviously this one you guys didn't hit it off, and that's why you broke up. So you still think that she's qualified? On what basis? You are trying to have some book or somebody solve your problem. It's not a problem. You're just going to recognize that you don't have enough respect for yourself and you like to be ignored to like someone rather than be respected to like that person. So, Lisa, I guess I just miss her and miss talking to her because of the happy times we shared together. That's a very bad way of thinking. You could be missing any girlfriends that you had, but that doesn't mean you should have them back in your life. You're missing that episode of fun or pleasure without any other responsibilities that this one has and you have at this juncture of your life in this relationship. That's not a fair thing to say. It's like constantly thinking about, oh, I like the month of April because we were at the fun fair and I was on the merry-go-round, and that's the best month of the year. What the fuck does that mean? And you don't like the month that you had to take exam at your university, or the job that you had to do presentations. Well, because they need the responsibilities, there are things to do. It wasn't like, La La Land, going and having fun. Now you're comparing the fun time without the responsibility of today and comparing to the responsibilities you guys have as a couple trying to build something with some time that there was no responsibility expected and it was just all fun and games. That's kind of bullshit way of comparing anything and seeking refuge in that kind of an episode. So you can think of the past girlfriends and enjoy, but that is no reason to say, oh, then because it's enjoyable memory, then that means I must be with her. I miss her. No, you were together and didn't work out. She didn't give a shit, or you didn't give a shit. Somehow it didn't work out. What's there to try again? Why would you miss talking to her? Why would you miss talking to someone that actually broke up with you? That's a shortcoming on you. That's a weakness of character. You got to be respectful to yourself and weigh out the situation. Say, okay, that's what happened in that relationship. That's the end of it. I'm not interested. That's why I went on and married somebody else. Now you want to treat her like that from the outset, and then you expect it to be a good marriage? You got to put your judgment correctly in front of you and say, what am I doing? Okay, I could be missing even a actress in a movie, but that doesn't mean because she was pretty or the role she had was very uh, great and gracious and she had grace and comforting character, that means I need her to be my wife. What the fuck is that? So you had some fun with her and you can remember that fun time and enjoy it. No problem with it. So far, so good. But thinking that now I desire, I must be with her, I miss her, that's stupidity. So move on from that. That's all I have to say about that. Just don't continue this train of thought because you're going to ruin this marriage for no reason, and that one is not available and nothing to miss. What's to miss? Somebody who broke up with you, you miss it? What missing what? Grow a pair. I told you. Sort it out. All right, guys. It's pretty much not much else to say. There's only 5 people here. No more questions. Maybe it's time for me to end it and get ready to go for my walk in the freeze. What is it? It's -5, I believe. -7. Holy macaroni. I better gear up. Okay, guys. I guess we can talk tomorrow when you guys had your New Year celebrations done and wake up. Probably have a maybe live stream at 1 p.m. tomorrow, Vancouver time. Maybe most of you would be sober at the time. And we can talk, and David will sort it out and stop talking nonsense. Otherwise, I'll be swimming the oceans coming to New Zealand and. All right. Okay, guys. It's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, giving the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. And before I do that, Neshizer says, hey, Meran, 23 Melbourne. Just wanted to ask tips to increase testosterone. Work out to your level, safe level. Maybe a few Brazilian nuts every day, 3 or 4 pieces. And check your testosterone level through your doctor's order for blood test, just to make sure that's in the range they should be. And meditate, Try to stay away from stress and get a good cardio going and work out 3-4 times at least a week. Sleep well. Make sure you sleep enough. And there are lots of hormonal secretion takes place when you have the sleeping arrangement done properly, sleep properly enough. And meditation helps with the growth hormones, with GABA neurotransmitters. And GABA neurotransmitters is responsible for managing depression and anxiety and so on. So meditation is very important. Proper food and not eating junk food and so much sugar and all that, fat and all that, just enough moderation. All right. So, and of course, yeah. GABA neurotransmitter that is naturally secreted when you meditate, gamma aminobutyric acid, GABA, GABA, it also increased by about 27% in meditation. Growth hormones increased, serotonin, all these increased. Cortisol is decreased by meditation, and cortisol is one of the reasons where testosterone is not produced enough. So you got to cut that down. So in general, combination of working out and staying away from stress, good nutrition, and meditation should be a good start. David says, thanks, Meran. Thanks for your advice. Talk soon. Cheers. Okay, guys. All right, then. Again, I start ending the transmission. Okay, then. I love you all. Thank you very much for being here and giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you, and wish you all a wonderful and happy new year with best wishes for all earthlings, and may we all be saved from the tyrannic behavior of the governments today. And in the meantime, be good to yourself, to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind@seekstruth.com, making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.